Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with a surprise replay cast here for you, as we have Flash actually spawning as a Zerg player here on the South Korean ladder 2024. Very recent replays. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. We have spawning here, of course, in the upper left. In the white, it is Flash with his AK, like I told you. This time a Zerg. Let's have a look how he does as a Zerg this time, not a Terran. And his opponent who is spawning here in the lower right in the orange. It is KYAK. Sadly, I don't know who this pro South Korean is. Very high APM here for him, almost 500. So yeah, maybe it's Snow, who knows, from the skin of his Nexus. I will have to, of course, to Google for his AK. Maybe you guys know who this is, but still, of course, a very strong opponent here from Flash, also from South Korea, opening up here with his pylon very far out. So he might go for a fast expansion build order. Let's check Flash. There is his spawning pool, and now he's going for more drones. His overlord is also moving out here for him. So interesting build order for him, not going for an overlord and more drones, actually straight spawning pool and then the gas trick by him, as he's now going for yet another drone. So still no overlord for him. Does the gas trick, has now one more of a supply, and now the overlord is finally has started for him, as he's also moving out with his first scouting drone. So very fast scouting indeed here by Flash. Really wants to know where exactly his opponent is hidden. There we have the gateway from the opponent, and he might continue very soon with a forge with some cannons into this location, as he has also moved out very early with his scouting probe. So both player giving, of course, much importance towards the scouting the enemy. And yeah, there is another pylon for him. Let's see what exactly Flash is doing, just roaming around here. I believe he's scouting for some proxy gateways. This could also be the strategy here by him, as he now has saved up minerals for the hatchery, but Protoss is nicely blocking this attempt, even attacking the drone here. Over 6 Zerglings already out here for Flash, so the expansion will of course be started very soon. The probe will have of course no chance against this, and Flash actually already deciding to move out with his Zerglings, going straight towards the position from his opponent. Still having no gas. Has another drone being built. The first Zealot is being produced here by the Protoss, actually the second Zealot, and the ramp is now being blocked. However, this pylon pretty much exposed. Perhaps Flash is going to take some shots into that, but the Zealot also here getting immediately surrounded nicely here by Flash. Good micro here by both players actually. The pylon will of course be protected. Flash is nicely trying to split those Zerglings up, but yeah, of course, I believe his main target will of course be the upper ramp, but we already have now 3 Zealots up, and with that I believe Flash is of course going to be forced back, as even 2 Zealots would be very good against all of those Zerglings here from Flash. We have the second hatchery actually getting produced here, so very nice macro oriented game here by Flash, going after hatchery after hatchery, and still at the same time nicely microing those Zerglings, still having 5 Zerglings for him, but the Protoss also almost finishing here his expansion. So quite an interesting early and a very aggressive move out here by Flash, as in comes the probe, and we don't have a tier 2 upgrade yet here for Flash, but he could be sneaky and go for the tier 2 into this location right here, just to fool the Protoss. Yeah, the probe will very likely have to be taken care of. Perhaps some Zerglings will be brought back. We're already having now 4 Zealots, so yeah, the Zerglings will of course stand no chance. Then we have the forge for some cannons, so the Protoss playing very nicely, blocking here the entrance. At the same time 2 Zealots are chasing the Zerglings away. In the meantime, we finally do have the layer upgrade, and it has started here at the first expansion point for Flash. So Flash might go for some lurkers, he might even go for some mutalisk. Let's see what exactly his plans are, as slowly but steadily we're closing towards the 5-minute mark. And yeah, very nice defensive gameplay here by the Protoss. He could of course punish the first expansion attempt by Flash, as there are no Sunkens here, there are no Zerglings here to defend. Actually more and more Zerglings are getting moved out now, and even speed has been done for those Zerglings. So Flash might go into mass Zerglings. He will try and attempt to attack here, but there's also many Zealots out for the Protoss, and even one cannon is about to get finished for him. So I believe the Protoss should of course be fine against this early aggression by Flash, as there indeed lots and lots of zealots that cannon will finish right on time here. Let's check the main from the Protoss. There's the starboard for the Corsairs. We have a Spire here for Flash. And yeah, the first Corsair is getting built for the Protoss, of course, much needed unit to pretty much harass the Overlords in the air from the opponent. There's another macro hatch here for Flash with the Spire, so he's going indeed for some Mutalisk. It could be some Scourges, of course, to counter the Corsairs. And yeah, still no major move out here by the Protoss, still staying back at home, not deciding to attack the expansion, so no Sunkens getting produced here, of course, for Flash, as he's playing very, very nicely and very, very macro-orientated game here for him. And let's have a look what exactly the Protoss is going for. Another gateway here. He might also try to add more gateway units very, very soon. One weapons upgrade being done for the air units. And we also have an Hydrolist then here for the Zerg for Flash. And the first Corsair actually getting some good connections here. Flash not having any units to stop this. Only some Scourges are getting produced now. But the Corsair deals more and more splash damage towards those Overlords. So quite a nice move here by the Protoss. The Overlords, of course, very, very slow. An interesting position for Flash to micro them. And this Corsair is actually having a great time. The second the Corsair is moving here forward, finally the Scourges will be able to fend this off. And at the same time, also some Zealots are moving out. But one is getting nicely surrounded by Flash. And the third Corsair is now moving out. So some Scourges might get intercepted very soon by those Corsairs in the air, as still some fighting is continuing here in the middle of the map. Great micro here by the Protoss, but he's still taking quite some damage, as one Zealot has been sniped here as well. So very nice early gameplay. One Corsair might once again get taken out, so Flash is getting some good connections against the Corsairs. And at the same time, lots and lots of Zealots will very likely move out very soon towards the expansion point here for Flash. So Flash still not having no Sunkens, only pretty much macro orientated. Goes now for speed for the Overlords, as finally a move out is happening here for the Protoss, but he has no speed for those Zealots. Actually, speed now is about to get finished, so Flash might be in some serious trouble here, but he does have Hydrolist on the high ground. No lurkers yet for him. Pretty much Hydrolist, and now even some upgrades have started for the Hydrolist. We'll have them at 0-0. Same can be said here for the Protoss, as a mighty fleet of Corsairs are actually moving out here for the Protoss, and he might get some good connections. So it's just still roaming around the map. Flash now having a very healthy number of tier 1 units, Zerglings with Hydrolist, and he might even intercept those Zealots here, as he's nicely pushing them back. So pretty good stuff here by Flash. Some Zerglings will be snapped, but a sheer mass of numbers here of units heading straight towards the expansion point. Immediately reaction here by the Protoss with his cannons. He should be fine, but of course the pylon is pretty much exposed, so the Zerg Flash might try to snap the pylon here. Some probes have to be pulled, and in comes the attack by Flash, as also the Zealots are very close by to respond. First cannon has been killed. Zealots also taking quite some damage, but at the same time the Zerglings have been killed, and now Flash tries to out-micro those Zealots. The Hydrolists do hold their ground as they deal more damage towards the Zealots on the ground. At the same time, we do have the reinforcements moving forward. This looks like Flash just going straight for mass Hydrolisk here versus the opponent. Psionic Storm, of course, will be the logic counter towards all of those masses from Hydra. So here they are. They arrive very, very early with some good attacks, but now we do actually have DTs for the Protoss, and with that I believe this push will be likely be stopped immediately. So Flash not even aware that there are some DTs on the ground, and now finally he's getting pushed back. There's so much good damage here out of the units, so sadly here for Flash he had no overlords into this area, so he's getting immediately pushed back. But yeah, sheer more masses of units are getting produced here for him. And yeah, the DTs does doing of course a great job. We even one weapons upgrade for them, and one weapons upgrade here for Flash as well. So we will pass the 10-minute mark, but as you can see, Flash still has no Sunkens. So of course the Protoss not really being able to punish the macro game for Flash, still allowing him to expand and even create more and more units, more and more drones. Sadly here for the Protoss, not paying attention to Corsairs have been sniped. And sadly even the Corsair gameplay didn't really make a change here versus Flash. Even Flash now going for more and more hatcheries. He has 3 at this location right here, 2 right here, and his main also into this location. As some Mutalisks are getting produced, we see more upgrades for the High Templars, and of course the Protoss being forced to stay back home and defend. And we actually do have a Dark Archon now, so some Maelstrom might get used, of course, against those sheer masses of Hydralisk for Flash. And Flash still not deciding to go for Lurkers, as we have a robotics facility bay for the Protoss here, so he might go for some drops. Double Forge for him, good upgrades are coming in, and Flash even taking another expansion here as we have passed the 10-minute mark. So quite a nice macro game by him. Looks like pretty much mass Hydralisk, as you can see the production tab, with some Mutalisk. So it's going to be upgraded Hydralisk versus the Protoss. The Protoss of course will need masses of High Templars, if you ask me, to push this back. Currently it's just at 2 High Templars with 1 Dark Archon, and actually Flash is now moving forward with lots and lots of Mutalisks, pretty much harassing the middle line here from his opponent, taking out the cannon, and sadly here for the Protoss even catching some of his own probes with the High Templar Storm. So very risky move indeed. Needs to be more careful. The Storms might deal more and more damage, and the Protoss caught a little bit off guard. His probes dropping into the numbers, and a second cannon has been finished, but now finally another Storm catching some of those probes. The Mutalisk will in the end be caught off, but some economic damage has been done here versus the opponent, as KYAK is dropping to 41 workers versus the 45 here from Flash. In the end, Flash is of course going to abandon this position, but the damage has been done already, and now we actually see a move out by Flash with his masses of high risk more being laid back at home. But I believe in the end he's going to push out very likely with some overlords to have vision against DTs on the ground. Let's see if this Dark Archon is going to make a difference here. Remember, the Protoss has used his High Templar Storms to defend against the Mutalisk, and now the numbers of Flash are just pretty much increasing here onto the map as he's moving out with masses of Hydralisk. Still a healthy number from units here for the Protoss, and more reinforcements are waiting here into the main. So Flash is pretty much patrolling now the map. I believe the Protoss is going to try to secure this other expansion point right here. So let's see what's going to happen. The Protoss really needs some High Templars, more High Templars for him, and they arrive here. Is more are much needed now for him in order to just pretty much obliterate the splash from Flash. So yeah, let's see some Mutalisk here. So still no Lurkers, still no Defilers here for Flash. Goals pretty much on a mass tier units without any support, just sheer masses for him. Some Zealots just scouting the proximity, and I believe the Protoss now knows that it is indeed mass Hydras with a couple of Mutalisk. So I believe he will go into more of those High Templars very soon, as Flash is just pretty much patrolling the map with his masses of Hydralisk here, still leaving some behind to defend the overlords, and now pretty much the middle of the map in control of Flash as he's just roaming around here. I believe he's going to perhaps take all of his units and try to launch a deadly attack towards the expansion point here, towards the already heard cannons, or he might even try to take out the expansion right here, but the high ground will make it very difficult for all of those Hydras to move forward. He might even try to do a drop into this location with his Hydras. Let's see what's going to happen here, as one overlord gives good vision. Flash splitting his troops. He might try a double attack, but like I told you, it's very hard to move up this ramp. And what exactly is the decision going to be here for Flash, as some probes are getting brought here forward. 53 workers for the Protoss is coming back really nicely, as some Zealots, actually one Zealot is going to move here forward. The Protoss very defensively, still roaming around. Let's check if he has more upgrades, of course, with double forges, one armor with 2 weapons. We have 2 weapons for Flash here as well. And what is going to be the next move here for Flash? Still defending with some Hydras, lots and lots of Hydras, actually mass Hydras gameplay here for him. Is this going to work out? We're about to find out, as of course the High Templars will have a great time against all of those masses from Flash, and now actually the Protoss decides to move out supply-wise. Flash has more, but those High Templars, like I told you, with the double storm for each Templar, are going to be very, very deadly against those Hydralisk from Flash. And now we actually have a massive move out, as you can see on the minimap. Lots and lots of Hydralisk here for him. He's trying to get a good flank versus all of the units. A great storm by the Protoss. This is what I told you. Look at that. Massive amounts of splash damage. Flash, of course, can't out-micro this. He's taking more damage, but at the same time, he's having so many units. Goes for a great flank. The Protoss has to retreat. The High Templar might get sniped here as well. The Hydras have, of course, 2 weapons upgrade as they're moving here forward. And the Protoss is actually taking more and more damage. Dragoon after Dragoon is getting sniped. The Dark Archon might try to lose Maelstrom very soon. He's up very much front. In come the Mutalisks from the back. Lots and lots of damage. More and more is being taken, and still no usage of this Dark Archon. Actually, right now we do have the Maelstrom ability, so very late upgrade here for the Protoss, as still lots and lots of splash damage are being taken here by Flash. But it looks like it's just pretty much going to move forward. There are no more High Templars here for the Protoss, and it's just sheer masses for Flash with mass Hydralisk, with a couple of Mutalisks. Perhaps more High Templars would have been a better decision here for the Protoss instead of this one Dark Archon with a very late upgrade for the Maelstrom. And yeah, with that and with the sheer masses here for Flash, he just pretty much overcame his opponent, as he already had more and more expansions here into his location. So interesting strategy here by him. No lurkers, no defilers, no ultralisk, of course, just sheer masses of Hydralisk. This could have went really wrong for him, as the High Templars would of course be the perfect counter towards all of those Hydralisk. We saw it in the early attacks here from the opponent from Flash. So much splash damage has been taken here by him, but I believe he was counting at the sheer reinforcements, the reserves that came in from the back, with a very healthy macro game with 58 of a worker count. He just pretty much sent wave after wave of Hydralisk towards his opponent, and in the end this was his strategy to overcome him, and it worked out really well for him. So let's check the stats very quick, as I'm going to be clicking left and right. Very interesting strategy. Sheer mass tier 1 units for the Zerg this time for Flash, somehow making it happen and winning this interesting game. So yeah, quite a surprise by Flash playing Zerg. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. I'm going to try to find as many more replays with Flash. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Tommy signing out.